Welcome to Ed Thomas, director, writer, playwright, dramatist, dramaturge, perhaps, and Dr Kate Woodward, who's from the University of Aberystwyth, an expert in film and television. Ed's just done a keynote speech for us in conversation with Kate at Association for Welsh Writing English 2015. So we thought we'd give people a flavour of what it's like to be almost the voice of the people at the moment in Wales.
God.
How does it feel?
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm the voice of the people, but Hinterland's been continues to be a great journey in terms of, making local drama have an universal appeal. It's nothing is more thrilling than thinking that some of those stories that originated, the Devil's Bridge myth, or stories that we've made up in the hope that they kind of sing with blood, soil, and belonging, can be picked up so easily to an international audience without ever. Without the Welsh context or the Welsh language being a major stumbling block, because prior, ever since I'm 53 now, and in my time writing plays, some of the yoke around your neck is the unfashionability of the idea of Wales, and certainly the Welsh language, which has been roundly abused. I remember being in London when City Limits, which was a left-wing newspaper as an alternative to Time Out. Carl Francis did Boy Soldier, and one of the critics said, the Welsh language, a shame that it's in the Welsh language. The Welsh language should go the same way as Button-Up Flies and the Anna Durbin movies. Well, that was 1984, 85. I mean, that was still the kind of, we've moved on from them, but not significantly. So it's great that we can do little, hopefully, Ceredigion crime stories, and they can be consumed by an international audience who get actually turned on by the context of, it's the UK, isn't it? Well, what's this Welsh thing, which is terrific. So I'm really thrilled.
So is there a link, would you say, between something like Hinterland and House of America? If you blood, soil and belonging, could House of America be blood, coal and belonging? Are there those same kinds of links between them about belonging and place and family?
Yeah, I mean, as a writer, I feel really confident when I think that I know the terrain. I'm not a native of Ceredigion, but I certainly know what makes me tick as a Welsh writer or whatever. And I stick to that. The themes haven't changed much. You could substitute soil to blood or coal, but I mean that thing about an argument for finding silence shameful. The fact that when I was younger, I was in a Welsh-speaking home, but I didn't go to Welsh language comprehensive. But then being in London for 10 years, when there were no Welsh dramas in the National Theatre or any of the small fringe theatres, there was nothing on the TV. And as a black friend said, you're worse than us. At least we get jobs as drug dealers and hookers. And you don't. You just get maybe the odd fat PE teacher. Is that it? And it's true. So that the fact that we weren't dignified enough for tragedy, not funny enough for comedy, and not good looking enough to be romantic leads, meant that, God, what kind of nation are we then? If the UK isn't seeing us, so that fuel obviously in me an anger, and probably that anger hasn't gone away.
A lot of the fan letters to Richard Llewellyn after How Green Was My Valley were from small countries with big culturally dominant neighbours saying, it's just like home. Are you getting similar responses, or what are they picking up on?
Yeah, if we're having a really tough day, it's good when somebody will tweet somebody in Alabama has watched, around the themes I've just said, or Ontario, or when you think, if somebody from Northwest Wales is saying John Ogwen should speak with his old Carnarvon accent, not my answer to that would be he's an actor, that's what we play him. So in this thing about family, and then the antidote to that is when somebody thinks, isn't that farmer really got a great craggy face, and what's Wales, and does he speak Welsh, which is a really good antidote to it. The world, it's good to go from the little to the little bit of Nebraska, whatever's watching it, and it's good because it doesn't mean that anything changes, but it means that we're not kind of landlocked in our own bloody despair.
No, it shows the power really of that the local can also be universal at exactly the same time.
Absolutely, lo-fi local was the only design we could afford, and that currently is hitting a chord, because I don't know, the world is becoming more homogenized, and maybe I remember when the Smiths came out, when I saw them in a small gig, the Smiths belonged to me, and then when they went on Top of the Pops, oh God, that they were the real deal, and now I've got to give them away, everybody will know them, and then I stopped liking them anymore. Well, I know from some of my younger members of my family how whatever the authentic is really good, and in a way, an antidote to a increasingly homogenized and uniform world, I guess.
So this is the slow film movement, or the organic film movement?
It's the slow film movement, definitely. Yeah, and the portions aren't very big either.
Not big enough.
It's nouvelle cuisine, very slowly eaten.
Ed Thomas, Kate Woodward, thank you so much for your discussion today.
Great, thank you very much for having us.